So good afternoon, everyone. I think we'll go ahead and get started, and just know that some folks, as they're getting their parking situated, will be kind of strolling in. So first off, I'm Michelle Buman, the hot dog. Oh, great. That wasn't expected. Want to welcome you all to the Iowa City Johnson County Senior Center. This is a celebration of the opening of Major League Baseball, obviously, and that happened this week, but also it's National Poetry Month, and so kind of combining the theme of baseball, poetry, a little bit of dance, and some song for this fun celebration of spring. When we planned this, we thought it'd be a little warmer outside. But I want to make a special comment to Judy Allen, who has been a very amazing teacher for us here at the Senior Center over the years. She's been great. She helps orchestrate the dance and really fun meetings, planning this event. I ended up in this suit. I want to thank John Renard for volunteering for everything he does here at the Senior Center. From SSRO to Voices of Experience to programs like this. We're very fortunate. Lyrics Alive on Monday, I don't even know. The list goes on, but he's just amazing. And also Ina Lowenberg and the Reading Aloud group. So we come up with these crazy ideas of poetry, and they're like, oh, baseball poems? Where are we going to find those? But they cooperate, and they found some, and we're just really excited to hear what they've come up with. So without any further ado, I'm just going to let the program begin.
I'm Ina Lowenberg from Reading Aloud, as you've heard. And actually, poetry reading is our game, but we're very happy to be here to celebrate this wonderful sport and to see what we can come up with to celebrate baseball in poetry. Our readers are Kathy Mitchell, Mary Gutman, Nancy Lynch, Johnny Ellsworth, Betty Norbeck, Jim Curry, Carrie Malone, and Michael Chan. So I am going to begin with a poem with a poem by Marianne Moore, who was a major poet of the first half of the 20th century and an avid baseball fan in Brooklyn, where she lived and where the Brooklyn Dodgers at that time played. So this is a part of a poem called Baseball and Writing, an excerpt by Marianne Moore. Fanaticism? No, writing is exciting, and baseball is like writing. You never tell with either how it will go or what you will do, generating excitement, a fever in the victim, pitcher, catcher, fielder, batter, victim in what category? Owlman, watching from the press box? To whom does it apply? Who is excited? Might it be I?
Kathy, what are you doing wearing that?
No. Sit down. What? Huh?
What are you doing wearing that brainy hat?
Well, let me explain to you, Gail. The reason I'm wearing my brain hat today is because I'm going to embark on an analysis of America's favorite pastime. The Analysis of Baseball by Mae Swenson. It's about the ball, the bat, and the mitt. Ball hits bat, or it hits mitt. Bat doesn't hit ball, bat meets it. Ball bounces off bat, flies air, or thuds ground. Dud. Or it fits mitt. Ball waits for bat. Bat waits for ball to mate. Ball hates to take bat's bait. Ball flirts. Ball's late. Don't keep the date. Ball goes in. Thwack to mitt. And goes out. Thwack bat to mitt. Ball fits mitt, but not all the time. Sometimes ball gets hit. Pow! When bat meets it and sails to a place where mitt has to quit in disgrace. That's about the bases, loaded. About 40,000 fans exploded. It's about the ball, the bat, the mitt, the bases, and the fans. It's done on a diamond, and for fun. It's about home, and it's about run.
If Schools Were More Like Baseball by Ken Nesbitt. It was listed that he was the Children's Poet Laureate in 2013. If schools were more like baseball, we'd only have to play. We'd hang out in the sunshine and run around all day. We wouldn't have to study. We'd practice and we'd train. And best of all, they'd cancel whenever there was rain.
Yes, the baseball. It's round, and we have a shared vocabulary with a lot of baseball terms in the world of dance. And one of those is the walk. We know what a baseball walk looks like. Dancers have to up the ante on all of this. So this performance is a very adapted performance of something called the Cole Stroll, which is a walk that was created by the very famous Honey Coles, tap dancer, and we adapted it, put it in the round. We have, I think, a very big surprise for you at the end, because we have door prizes for you. All right, we don't want these back when we send them out there. So anyway, here is, did you see Jackie Robinson hit that ball? I put the music credits and the singing credits in the program today.
Hi there. This is a poem by George Bilger. Title is Musial. Is there anyone here who doesn't know who Musial is? Good. My father once sold a Chevy to Stan Musial. The story goes back in the 50s, when the most coveted object in the universe of third grade was a Stan the Man Musial baseball card. No St. Louis honky-tonk or Riverfront Jazz Club could be more musical than those three syllables rising from the tongue of Jack Buck in the dark mouths of garages on our street, where men like my father stood in their shirt-sleeved exile, cigarette in one hand, scotch in the other, radio rising and ebbing with the cards. If Jack Buck were to call my father's drinking that summer, he would have said he was swinging for the bleachers. He was on a torrid pace. In any case, the dealership was failing and the marriage a heap of ash. And knowing my father, I doubt if the story is true, although I love to imagine that big hayseed smile flashing in the showroom, the salesmen and mechanics looking on from their nosebleed seats at the edge of history, as my dark-suited dad handed the keys to the man, And for an instant, each man there knew himself a part of something suddenly immense, as when, in the old myths, a bored god dresses up like one of us and falls through the summer thunderhead to shock us from our daydream drabness with heaven's dazzle and razzmatazz.
You know, when a lot of us think about baseball, we think about these nostalgic days, players like Musial and whatever. When you think about a lot of tap dancing, you think about the nostalgia days and kind of the iconic identities of tap dancing, which is a top hat and cane. Fred Astaire showed how great that was, as well as other dancers. Well, we decided to do our own nostalgia top hat and cane routine, only we're using baseball bats and caps. So to fit the occasion, we are performing our own top hat and cane kind of routine to a nostalgia piece that was written by Terry Cashman. And I think you'll recognize a lot of the players that he references in the song.
Marijuana, weed was stolen. Down on the national pastime, went on trial. Talking baseball, Klatuski and Banana. Talking baseball, the man and Bobby Fella, the scooter, the robber, and the Duke. They know them all from Boston to Dubuque, especially Willie, Mickey, and the Duke. Well, KC was winning, and Henry was beginning. One early going out, one coming in. Kiner and Richard Goodell, the Thumper and Bill Parnell. And I was the only one winning down in Washington. I'm talking baseball, Klatuski and Banana. Talking baseball, the man Bobby Fella, the scooter, the Palmer, and the Duke. They know them all from Boston to Dubuque, especially Willie, Mickey, and the Duke. Now my old friend Bachelor, funny swan, was the Oklahoma kid. And Cookie played, Cookie beat, go and see me too. And me, I called the company man, those were the days. Well, now it's the 80s, and red is the greatest, and Bobby Bonds can play for everyone. Rose is at the pit, Rusty again is a net, and the great Alexander is pitching again in Washington. I'm talking baseball, like Reggie Keys and Henry. Talking baseball, Carew and Gaylord Perry, Steve Agard and Skip and Michael Blue. If Cooper's down is calling, it's no fluke. They'll be with Willie, Mickey, and the Duke. Mickey and the Duke. Say hey, say hey, say hey. It was Willie, Mickey, and the Duke. Say hey, say hey, say hey. I'm talking Willie, Mickey, and the Duke. Say hey, say hey, say hey. Say hey, say hey, say hey, say hey.
Seventh game, 1960 series, by Paul Blackburn. Nice day, sweet October afternoon. Men walk the sunshot avenues. Second, third, eyes intent elsewhere. Cars, ears communing with transistors and shirt pockets. Bars are full, quiet. Discussions during commercials only. Pirates lead New York 4-1, top of the sixth. 2 Yankees on base, 1 man out. What a nice day for all this. Handsome women, even dreamy jailbait walk, nearly neglected. Men's eyes are blank. Their thoughts are all in Pittsburgh.
Last half of the ninth, the score tied 9-all. Mazeroski leads off for the Pirates. The second pitch, he simply, sweetly, crack, belts it clean over the left field wall. Blocks of afternoon, acres of afternoon, Pennsylvania turnpikes of afternoon. 1 diamond stretches out in the sun, the third base line, and what men come down it, the final score, 10-9. Yankees come home.
Another vocabulary word that we have in common with baseball as dancers is the word swing. We all know that a good swing in baseball means a lot. A good swing in dance means a lot too. So to the music of It Don't Mean a Thing Unless It Ain't Got That Swing is Jim Gibson and I are going to perform this little duet. It's our tribute to the infield and the very iconic diamond shape of that infield and the players who play in that infield primarily.
All you gotta do is sing. If I was need to sing, all you gotta do is sing. Don't need a thing, and you ain't got that thing.
Clothespins by Stuart Dybeck. I once hit clothespins for the Chicago Cubs. I'd go out after supper when the wash was in and collect clothespins from under 4 stories of clotheslines. A swing and a miss was a strikeout. The garage roof, Willie Mays, pounding his mitt under a pop fly. Bushes, a double. Off the fence, triple, and over, home run. The bleachers roared. I was all they needed for the flag. New records every game. Once 10 homers in a row. But sometimes I'd tag them so hard they'd explode, legs flying apart in midair, pieces spinning crazily in all directions. Foul ball, what else could I call it? The bat was real.
Well, guys, I made the team. I got to see if I can find my friend Abbott here and tell him that, oh, there he is.
Hey! Oh, Costello! I'm going to New York with you. You know, Bucky Harris, the Yankee manager, he gave me a job to coach as long as you're on the team.
Well, look, Abbott, if you're the coach, you must know all the players.
I certainly do.
Well, you know, I never met the guys. So you'll have to tell me their names, and then I'll know who's playing on the team.
Oh, I'll tell you their names. But you know, it seems to me they give ball players nowadays very peculiar names.
You mean funny names?
Oh, yeah. Strange names. Pet names like Dizzy Dean,
And his brother Daffy.
Daffy Dean.
And their French cousin,
French?
Gouffet.
Hey, Dean. Well, let's see. We have on the bags, who's on first, what's on second, I don't know is on third.
That's what I want to find out.
I say, who's on first, what's on second, I don't know is on third.
You the manager?
Yes.
You're going to be the coach too?
Yes.
And you don't know the fellas' names?
Oh, well, I should.
Well, then who's on first?
Yes.
I mean the fella's name.
Who?
The guy on first.
Who?
The first baseman.
Who?
The guy playing first.
Who is on first?
I'm asking you who's on first.
That's the man's name.
That's whose name?
Well, go ahead. Yes.
Well, go ahead and tell me.
That's it.
That's who.
Yes.
Look, you got a first baseman?
Certainly.
Who's playing first?
That's right.
When you play off the first baseman every month, who gets the money?
Every dollar of it.
All I'm trying to find out is what's the fella's name on first base?
Who?
The guy that gets the money.
You, that's it.
Who gets the money?
He does, every dollar. Sometimes his wife comes down and collects it.
Whose wife?
Yes. Well, what's wrong with that?
Well, look, all I want to know is the guy, when you sign up to first baseman, how does he sign his name?
Who?
The guy.
Who?
How does he sign?
That's how he signs it.
Who?
Yes.
All I'm trying to find out is what's the guy's name on first base?
No. What is on second
I'm
base?
not asking you who's on second.
Who's on first?
One base at a time.
Well, don't change the people around.
I'm not changing nobody.
Hey, take it easy, buddy.
I'm only asking you, who's the guy on first base?
That's right.
Okay.
All right.
What's the guy's name on first base?
No, what is on second?
I'm not asking you who's on second.
Oh, who's on first?
I don't know.
He's on third, but we're not talking about him.
How did I get to third base?
Why, you mentioned his name.
If I mentioned the third baseman's name, who did I say was playing third?
No, who's playing first?
What's on first?
What's on second?
I don't know.
Oh, he's on third.
There I go back to third again. Look, would you just stay on third base and don't go off it?
All right. What do you want to know?
Now, who's playing third base?
Why do you insist upon putting who on third base?
What am I putting on third?
No, what is on second?
You don't want who on second?
Who is on first?
I don't know. Third base. Look, you got an outfield?
Sure.
The left fielder's name.
Why?
I just thought I'd ask you.
Well, I just thought I'd tell you.
Well, then tell me who's playing left field.
Who's playing first?
I'm not. Stay out of the infield. I want to know what's the guy's name in left field.
No, what is on second?
I'm not asking you who's on second.
Who's on first?
I don't know. Third
base.
The left fielder's name?
Why?
Because.
Oh, he's center field.
Look, you got a pitcher on this team?
Sure.
The pitcher's name?
Tomorrow.
You don't want to tell me today?
I'm telling you now.
Well, then go ahead.
Tomorrow.
What time?
What time what?
What time tomorrow are you going to tell me who's pitching?
Now listen, who is not pitching?
I'll break your arm, you tell me who's on first. I want to know what's the pitcher's name.
What's on second?
I don't know.
Oh,
Third base. Oh boy. Got a catcher?
Certainly.
The catcher's name.
Today.
Today. And tomorrow's pitching.
Now you've got it.
All we got is a couple of days on the team. Look, you know I'm a catcher too.
So they tell me.
I get behind the plate and I do some fancy catching. Tomorrow's pitching on my team and a heavy hitter gets up. This heavy hitter bunts the ball. Me being a good catcher, I'm going to throw that ball to first base. So I pick up the ball and I throw it to who?
No, that's the first time you've got it right.
I don't even know what I'm talking about.
That's all you'd have to do.
Is throw the ball to first base.
Yes,
Now who's got it?
naturally.
Look, if I throw the ball to first base, somebody's got to get it. Now who has it?
Naturally.
Who?
Naturally.
Naturally?
Naturally.
So I pick up the ball and I throw it to naturally.
No, you don't. You throw the ball to who?
Naturally.
That's different.
That's what I said.
You're not saying it.
I throw the ball to naturally.
You throw it to who?
Naturally.
That's it.
That's what I said.
You asked me.
I throw the ball to who?
Naturally.
Now you ask me.
You throw the ball to who?
Naturally.
That's it.
Same as you, same as you. I throw the ball to who? Whoever it is drops the ball and the guy runs to second. Who picks up the ball and throws it to what? What throws it to? I don't know. I don't know, throws it back to tomorrow. Triple play. Another guy gets up and hits a long fly ball to because. Why? I don't know. And he's on third and I don't give a darn.
What?
I said I don't give a darn.
Oh, that's our shortstop.
Oh.
Now, for anybody that has always wanted to play baseball, but was never the one that got to play all the cool positions, or was the one that was really most comfortable doing everything else but playing sports, this song might be for you. Saturday summers, when I was a kid, we'd run to the schoolyard and here's what we did. We'd pick out the captains, we'd choose up the teams. It was always a measure of my self-esteem, 'cause the fastest, the strongest played shortstop and first. The last ones they picked were the worst. I never needed to ask, it was sealed. I just took up my place in right field. Playing right field. It's easy, you know. You can be awkward and you can be slow. That's why I'm here in right field, just watching the dandelions grow. Playing right field can be lonely and dull. Little leagues never have lefties that pull. I dream of the day they'd hit one my way. They never did, but still I would pray that I'd make a fantastic catch on the run and not lose the ball in the sun. And then I'd awake from this long reverie and pray that the ball never came out to me. Here in right field, it's easy, you know. You can be awkward and you can be slow. That's why I'm here in right field, just watching the dandelions grow. Off in the distance, the game's dragging on. There's strikes on the batter, some runners are on. I don't know the inning, I've forgotten the score. The whole team is yelling and I don't know what for. Then suddenly everyone's looking at me. My mind has been wondering, what could it be? They point to the sky and I look up above, and the baseball falls into my glove. Here in right field, it's important, you know. You gotta know how to catch. You gotta know how to throw. That's why I'm here in right field, just watching the dandelions grow. That's why I'm here in right field, just watching the dandelions grow.
Well, for some people, baseball is like a religion. They're very dedicated to the game, save those cards, go to those games, collect baseball caps and shirts and whatever, T-shirts. So we found a wonderful song by Winona Carr, Sister Winona Carr, called "Life is a Ball Game."
Strike one.
The name of this poem is Casey at the Bat by Ernest Lawrence Thayer. The outlook wasn't brilliant for the Mudville Nine that day. The score stood 4-2 with but one inning more to play. And then when Cooney died at first and Barrows did the same, a sickly silence fell upon the patrons of the game. A straggling field got up to go in deep despair. The rest clung to the hope which springs eternal in the human breast. They thought, if only Casey could get but a whack at that, we would put up even money. Now with Casey at the bat. But Flynn preceded Casey, as did also Jimmy Blade, and the former was a Lulu, and the latter was a kick. So upon that stricken multitude, grim melancholy sat, for there seemed but little chance of Casey's getting to the bat.
No, it's not finished. But Flynn let drive a single to the wonderment of all, and Blake, the much despised, tore the cover off the ball. And when the dust had lifted and the men saw what had occurred, there was Jimmy safe at second and Flynn a hugging third.
And then, from 5,000 throats and more, there rose a lusty yell. It rumbled through the valley, it rattled in the dell. It knocked upon the mountain and recoiled upon the flat. For Casey, mighty Casey, was advancing to the bat.
There was ease in Casey's batter as he stepped into his place. There was pride in Casey's bearing and a smile on Casey's face. And when, responding to the cheers, he lightly doffed his hat, no stranger in the crowd could doubt 'twas Casey at the bat.
10,000 eyes were on him as he rubbed his hands with dirt. 5,000 tongues applauded when he wiped them on his shirt. Then while the writhing pitcher ground the ball into his hip, defiance gleamed in Casey's eye, a sneer curled Casey's lip.
And now the leather-colored sphere came hurtling through the air, and Casey stood a-watching it in haughty grandeur there. Close by the sturdy batsman, the ball unheeded sped. That ain't my style, said Casey. Strike one, the umpire said.
From the benches, black with people, there went up a muffled roar, like the beating of the storm waves on a stern and distant shore. Kill him! Kill the umpire! Shouted someone on the stand. And it's likely they'd have killed him had not Casey raised his hand.
With a smile of Christian charity, great Casey's visage shone. He stilled the rising tumult. He bade the game go on. He signaled to the pitcher, and once more the spheroid flew. But Casey still ignored it, and the umpire said, "Strike two."
Fraud, cried the maddened thousands, and echo answered fraud. But one scornful look from Casey, and the audience was awed. They saw his face grow stern and cold. They saw his muscles strain. And they knew that Casey wouldn't let that ball go by again.
The sneer is gone from Casey's lip. His teeth are clenched in hate. He pounds with cruel violence his bat upon the plate. And now the pitcher holds the ball. And now he lets it go. And now the air is shattered by the force of Casey's blow. Oh, somewhere in this favourland, the sun is shining bright. The band is playing somewhere, and somewhere hearts are light. And somewhere men are laughing, and somewhere children shout. But there is no joy in Muffield. Mighty Casey has struck out.
We've prepared a fan dance, a baseball fan dance. Oh. It's not what you think. You picked up on that right away. We are going to leave our shirts on, our costumes on. And this is a tribute to the baseball players. Because without the game of baseball, the fans have nothing to get excited and invigorated about. So this is also our audience participation number. So clear your laps of any debris that you have. Because you're a part of this dance, fan dance. And it goes like this. sky, boom, boom, down. So the whole thing is last half, down, come up, 2 pushes, boom, boom. Now, you probably know the words to this. All right. It is, hey Chicago, what do you say? Cubs are going to win today. Hey Chicago, what do you say? Cubs are going to win today. And hey Chicago, what do you say? Cubs are going to, I'm gonna take it back. And hey Chicago, what do you say? Cubs are going to win again. Hey Chicago, what do you say? Cubs are going to win. Last time. Hey Chicago, what do you say? Cubs are going to win today. Pretty good. It's not going to take a lot longer, by the way. It's a long time to work this out. That's in our choreography. And the song you're going to recognize is the famous kind of Cubs mantra song after they win the game. So there's a little bit lead in front of it. You'll know when to hit it. So we're going to go, Cubs, go. Go, Cubs, go. When you see them do bum, bum, then you're coming in. In Chicago, what do you say? Cubs are gonna win today. Look at me. Cubs in Chicago, what do you say? Cubs are gonna win today. I don't believe in over-rehearsing, so. And we're the fans in the stands.
All seasons underway. When you play it around it's gone, what do you say? The Cubs are gonna win today. Let's send it, go, Cubs, go. Go, Cubs, go. In Chicago, what do you say? The Cubs are gonna win today. Go, Cubs, go. Cubs are gonna win today. They got the power, they got the speed. The best in the National League. Well, this is the year the Cubs are lead. So come on down to Big League. We're singing out, go Cubs, go. Go Cubs, go. Hey Chicago, what do you say? The Cubs are gonna win today. So stand to keep right your hand. Chicago Cubs got the greatest man. And you sing it out, go Cubs, go. Go Cubs, go. Hey Chicago, what do you say? The Cubs are gonna win today. Cubs go. Go Cubs, go. Hey Chicago, what do you say? The Cubs are gonna win today. Go Cubs, go.
You guys are getting up to join Tap Flash. You got that really fast.
Well, I just just want to thank everyone for coming and participating today. I think this was a lot of fun. And thank all of our tap dancers. Let's give them a round of applause. And on piano, John Renard. And National Poetry Month, Reading Aloud. Thank you so much. We have more Cracker Jacks if you're interested in the back. They have a prize. Oh, of course, I am so sorry. I neglected to recognize our senior standing room only SSRO for the Who's On First. So. Thank you so much, Gail. When you don't have notes in front of you, that's what happens. So anyway, thank you so much.
Let's go!